righty, guys. Welcome back to the Red Corner. We got the All-Star Break special here, boys. Guys, there's nothing like being live together, right? It's been like a week or so since we were live. So welcome back, Red Riders. We're expecting a nice active chat. If you're here, keep that chat going. We got prizes. I want to give away. This is my goal today. I want to give away 3 Red Corner hats. I would love to. So we have some Red Corner hats for giveaways today. Best chat activity question wins a hat. Slim and Bones so Slim and Bones will make that decision. So it's good to be back, guys. Good to be back live here with you. If you're here, guys, listening now or in the future, please hit that subscribe button. You know the deal. Bones, how was that weekend, man? How we doing?
Pretty eventful one. Can't really get into the details, but myself got into 44,000 steps in over 24 hours, so I can't remember the last time I did that in a week. So
Tough to go with the bad, right?
Yeah.
You knocking on doors, getting signatures?
Yeah, running for mayor.
There you go.
After all that trash, you had enough. Bones finally got enough.
Finally. Slim, you're the man of mystery. We never know where you're at. So where are you at right now?
Yeah, no, I'm still in location X for now, in the safe house. Everything's good, though, on Slim. I'm having a great time. One thing I have to say, though, is I had to get a better camera because Slim's been to the beach, and I don't know if you can tell. You can tell I got the deep V on, but you can't tell that I'm sun-kissed right now. I'm looking pretty good. I'm not going to lie. I'm looking pretty good.
I am too. I'm sun-kissed as well. You're bringing the V-neck back. I love it, man.
Oh yeah, it's July. You know, it's loose time. We're loose.
100%.
I just thought you had a Gussie.
That's a throwback word right there. Yeah. So I actually this morning I was up at like 4 a.m. I went fishing for stripers down in the Chesapeake. Great day. Had an awesome time on the boat down there. And I go out of Kent Narrows, Kent Island in Maryland. So it's been a long day for Devo, but I am pumped. So again, we got the Home Run Derby live on right now. We have a lot to get into, but before we get into our first segment, let me get some Home Run Derby predictions for tonight, boys. Let's start with you on this one, Bones. Who you picking? And here's the deal: we're doing draft style, so you get the first pick. Yeah, you like that surprise, don't you, Slim? So you got the first pick, Bones. Who you got?
Give me the guy I've been talking about since the beginning of the year, James Wood of the Washington Nationals.
Oh, nice pick.
He's
Slim?
going up early. I think he's going second. So.
Oh man, the format changes me up. I got to Google because you know what? I'm just gonna, man. All right,
Well,
give me the big. If we're doing a draft, right? Give me the big dumper.
I love it. Okay, so far. So those are top 3 in odds. The big dumper's number 1 at plus 320.
There's 8 people, so we're all getting 2. We'll leave 2 on the board.
I was actually going to just do 1, but
Oh, okay. Then I want my pick back then.
Okay, who do you want?
Tonight, I want Jazz Chisholm.
Oh, you're going long shot.
Yep.
Okay, I like that.
Long shot.
Well, since you just gave me the number 1 overall pick, I'm going to go with the big dumper in Cal Riley.
I like it.
So I'll take him. All right, so Bones, you take James Wood. Slim has Jazz, and I'm going to take the big dumper. So that's our picks. You know, this is what we'll do. We have a Red Corner tailgate this Friday. So to start this is a absolutely monster Red Corner week for us. So we got the All-Star break this week, the very first game back for the Phillies, right? At the bank versus the Angels, Mike Trout in town. The Red Corner is having a tailgate this Friday. Come on out. Come hang with us. We'll post our exact location as we get closer. But this is what we're going to do. For a chug. So the 2 losers do a chug, okay? So that's the rules. So that's how we're going to do it, and the winner does not. Again, this Friday, we're going to have our Love City beers flowing. We're going to have our Works tailgate flowing with the food. All right, guys, let's get to our first segment here. And this is a throwback. And this is a nice little showing a little love to our OGs. So those that remember the show, I think this was back in December, we put on our genie masks and we had a bunch of listeners submit wishes that they wanted to happen for the 2025 season, right? So here we are at the All-Star break. And what we did was back in December, we drafted the most likely to occur. So there you have the results right there. So let's go through this here and let's just kind of take a look, see what has changed, what hasn't, and then we're going to do a redraft at the end. So, Bones, what do you think about number one there? The Mets will not make the playoffs.
You said we're going to go through these one by one. You said, Dev?
Yeah, we're just going to go through, talk.
Okay.
We'll spend more time on others.
First one, I think this was me. The Mets will not make the playoffs. I think I broke that one up.
Yep.
Not looking so hot right now. They're neck and neck with the Phillies. Looks like the East is going to get 2 teams in, so the team that doesn't win will be a wild card.
Right.
But the Mets pitching has fell off recently. They're getting some pitchers back, but it has fell off recently. We'll see what happens at the deadline if they upgrade there. But their bats are looking good again. Soto started off slow this year, but he's back in rare form over the last month and jumped into this MVP conversation in top 4 according to MLB polls and all that stuff.
Yep.
So that's looking like an L for me.
Yeah.
And what I would say quickly on the Mets is I do think the NL East is up for grabs. I do think it's going to be an L for Bones. I can see the Mets getting in there. But I disagree, and we had this argument back earlier in the season. The Mets, top half of the order, batting-wise, is solid. Then after that, it falls off. They've had serious issues with runners in scoring position, like a lot of clubs, and some people think that's like a made-up thing, runners in scoring position. Now I'm hearing people on Twitter tell me that's not a big deal. When you have terrible numbers at runner in scoring position, that it's like a happen chance thing. But with that being said, I think that Mets batting order isn't as strong as we think. I think it's very top heavy. So I can see them also continue to decline. I think we're going to get a third team in this mix potentially in the wild card. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm not sure if the NL East gets 2 teams in or what.
Okay, so all great points there. So at the end of each kind of review here, we'll basically say, hey, do we think this wish is going to come true or not? And then we'll kind of do a quick little agreed upon ranking at the end because we don't want to spend 4 hours on this. But yeah, so obviously right now the Mets are in second in the division and they are second in the wild card. So they are currently in the playoffs. So this wish looks like at this point that will not come true. Number 2, this is a sexy one.
Give me a minute. You can keep on going though.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Zach Wheeler will win his first Cy Young. So I think this was actually one of mine, and I think either you or I drafted this one, Slim. But at this point, as today stands, I checked the DraftKings odds. Zach Wheeler is favored to win the NL Cy Young. He is minus 125. He's ahead of Paul Skeens, despite not being the number 1 starter in the All-Star game. But yeah, so that one's looking good, Slim. Where are you at on that, man? You think that's going to stay around?
You said he's minus 125?
Yeah, he's minus 125.
That's ridiculous. That tells you right there. That's a heavy favorite. That's great odds. It seems like this is going to come true. The odds are telling us at minus 125 it's going to come true. Besides the odds telling us it's going to come true, the second thing is we're starting to see the bad publicity for the Pittsburgh Pirates. So oftentimes people say these awards, the All-Star game, they're narrative-driven, PR-driven, not merit-based always. Well, Rod Manfred just came out and was complaining about the Pirates, saying they got to stop being cheap and they got to stop being a useless franchise. I cannot see them rewarding Skeens to Cy Young as long as he's a Pirate this season. You know what I'm saying? Especially with the way that franchise is doing their business. I don't see voters voting for it.
That's actually a really good point.
So I do think Wheeler comes in. The only issue now is is it worth the value to bet him at 125? We kind of think it is, right?
Well, I
So
mean,
Sal's out. Sal's nasty. Sal reminds me, like he was out there. He's super frail and skinny, and then he went down. The Braves are done. His campaign for the Cy Young's done. In my opinion, I just told you why I think Skeens is done. So who else is there? And the odds are telling you at minus 125. You know, it's almost that's better than the Dodgers to keep winning, to go to the World Series, etc. It's almost 3 times the value of the Dodgers, or
it's
worse value.
ridiculous. Yeah.
So,
So
I don't know.
at
What do you guys
this-
think?
I think at this point we could say that
Yes, he's going to win.
we were looking at it the right way, and that wish looks like it might come true.
Right.
Awesome.
Now-
So this is Slim.
I wish maybe you guys know. Maybe we can look it up real fast. His innings. Is he on pace to set his innings mark high compared to other years? So I know that was a conversation point we had.
I think his high is like 225 ish. And that was like 2 years ago.
He won't get there this year.
I don't think he's on pace for that. No.
Might come
Okay.
short since they decided to take a week off to have a kid.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
No. Serious. I mean, that's a start. So that does matter. That's it's solid 6 or 7 innings.
So one thing about the Skeens thing, the Pirates are playing better baseball.
Mhm.
So the record is better ever since they fired their coach. They went on like a 7-game winning streak. They swept the Phillies. They swept the Mets at one point. Skeens just getting no decisions. But the record's not going to be as bad as it was looking. So that's
Right.
always good. So it might hurt Wheeler's chances because of the way that record looks.
Now, good point. And chat, we see you. BD Jones in the chat. We see you, man. What up, man? Thank you for joining us tonight. And chat, a reminder, we're giving away Red Corner hats. Whatever has the best comment, we'll make some decisions by the end of the show. So keep those questions and comments coming. Let's move on to our third wish here. Dombrowski will make a blockbuster trade at the trade deadline. This is an interesting one, boys, right? So the Phillies kind of did their part, right? Because they were first in the division leading up to the All-Star break and hopefully up to the trade deadline. So all things are kind of set up for a blockbuster trade. The question is, what are we defining a blockbuster trade as? Slim, where are you at on that?
Oh, bringing back an everyday player who's going to be here next year as well, I would say. For sure. That's what we're looking at. And
That's
I
a good
think,
definition.
yeah, they're my 2 points. Do you guys think we're going to get that? Because we got about, I don't know, 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks. 31st is the deadline.
Right. Where are you at on that, Bones?
Yeah, I think, and I would have considered as like an everyday player. If they go out and get a closer or a big piece of this bullpen, I think that's considered a blockbuster deal, especially if they're giving up like a top 3 or 4 prospect in the trade, which is most likely going to happen. But I can see them making 2 blockbuster deals because I think they're going to go out and get an everyday player too, and it might be in the same deal. I don't know. You might have to catch our next trade deadline episode.
Good tease there. We're going to be doing a trade deadline series, second volume soon, so stay tuned for that. So yeah, it looks like for the third wish, we think that's going to come true. So we're thinking a blockbuster trade is coming. So good.
I think it's going to be spicier in that. It has to be. I think that definition of blockbuster, like I said, has to be something pretty decent, multiple years, someone we keep. Yeah, we'll get into that, like you said, later on in another episode.
Yeah.
But I don't want us to devalue the word blockbuster. You know, I don't want us.
That's what I was getting at.
Okay.
Yep. 100%.
We're on the same page.
But I don't think the last couple of years they made any blockbuster deals.
No, they didn't. But that says blockbuster. Is it relative to what your team has done? You know, like, because look at the Pirates. They haven't done anything.
That's what I figured this would be a topic of, like, hey, what are we defining blockbuster as? So for this team, I think we're positioning ourselves for that. Well, I think we're positioning ourselves for if there's going to be a blockbuster trade. Because here's the reality: if we underperformed or if we stunk, that's not going to happen, right? So let's move on to the next one here. And Shawnee K is asking, I just arrived. Did anyone get picked for the Home Run Derby? Yes. So thank you for that. So just a quick recap. We drafted and we each picked our projected winner for the Derby tonight. Slim did Jazz. I did the Big Dumper. And Bones did James Wood. So those are the three guys that we picked for tonight, Shawnee K. That's for a chug bet. All right, so number 4 here. This one is going to be also another kind of an interesting conversation. Andrew Painter will dazzle in rookie year, and Slim added this extra detail, so I'm going to let him handle this. A Steven Strasburg-like first year. So, Slim, talk to us. And you're not
first,
talking to us.
Muted of the night.
Well, talk to Slim, walk with Slim. Now it's time to talk with.
And he made it himself again.
Two. Utah, give me 2.
Yeah. What is going on?
Omaha. Ready? Go. All right. So Painter, he's going to come up. He's going to start. He's whatever's happened in the minor leagues. He still has this stuff. He still has the high velocity. He still has 5-6 pitches. So when he comes to the majors, it's going to work. We saw someone who's way worse than Painter have a great debut in a great situation. His name was Mick Abel, and he looked like Steven Strasburg versus the Pirates. So I do think we're going to be very careful with Strasburg. Bring him up, let him start a little bit. But I do see him again going to the bullpen. I see him probably getting about maybe around 6 starts, I'll say. Then he'll get moved to the bullpen. And that's my prediction. And I think we're going to move him to the bullpen. That'll probably be, it'll be sick if he becomes the closer. But he's either going to become I think he'll probably become like an 8th inning type guy to where he's coming in. Off the bat, he's throwing 99, 100, which is pretty much good enough. And then he's going to have multiple pitches to work off of. So he can he can get you 1 strike. All right, can I work this pitch off this one today? It's not working. All right, it's 1-1. All right, here's another fastball. Maybe it wasn't great. 1-1-2. All right, let me see if this off movement pitch is working. It's not. All right, now it's 1-3. I still have this 99 mile per hour heater I can get behind. So he's going to come. I'm telling you, unless we trade him in that blockbuster number 3,
100%. Slim, you hit on this. The stuff's there, so I'm not that concerned about that. It's that weird narrative. Is he like not motivated in the minors, right? Which is getting floated around there, which you never like to hear. All right, let's keep it moving here. And Shawnee K says he went Rooker tonight for the Derby. Yeah, man, that's a great pick. I was considering him too. So you go one there.
A right-handed bat the Phillies could have had last year.
Amen.
Yes.
One comment on this
Painter
thing. Might not be Strasburg-like, but Slim's bringing up going to the bullpen, and we go back to 2008 when David Price came up with the Rays, and he was their closer his rookie year. So,
yeah, it reminds me of
that.
Price. Wainwright had a similar little thing when he first came up. So, no, it has happened before, but I do. I'm buying Painter. I'm buying Painter at this point. If people are a little off him because of his last month, then I'm buying.
100%. All right, let's move on to the next one here. Trey Turner will have 40-plus stolen bases. So, Bones, I did the math here. He is on pace for 40.5 stolen bases. So, you're looking pretty on point there.
Yeah, I mean, numbers don't lie, right?
Yep.
So we got that number, 40.5. We're just above the halfway point. And he's not stealing as much as he was probably like 2-3 weeks ago, because when he hit 20, that was probably almost 2-3 weeks ago, and I think he's only at 22 right now. So just got to keep on getting on base. And big thing is staying healthy.
24 he's at.
I was at 24.
Yep.
But still only 4 since then. But just got to stay healthy. Just ride the course and get on. And he's batting second now, which, well, at least yesterday he did against the Padres, that series finale. So I don't know if that changes anything, which we're batting leadoff. We'll have to see, but hopefully not.
100%. And anyone that just joined, just a quick little reminder here. So we are going through all of the listeners' submitted wishes that were submitted before the year. We granted the wishes, and then we ranked them based off of most likely to occur. So we're just doing a quick little midseason check-in right now to see where those wishes are. So, Slim, I'm looking at you here for this layup. Bryson Stott will bounce back, have a bounce-back year. Where's he at?
So that's going to be no. On Turner, though, I think that's a stat he'll probably end up going for, too. You know, as we get later in the year, I think he gets more steals in this. I know it's the second half. It's not the full second half, but he'll get more steals in this part of the season than he did the first half, I think. So I think he's going to eclipse 40 for sure. Bryson Stott, the bounce back year. My God, our guy, you know, I laid off the guy. I've completely laid off him.
Sympathy. His
defense is there. I don't know. I'm hearing at this point they're saying he's on the team because of Harper. You know, that's when you're not playing well. It ends up being Bryce Harper's fault for bringing you on the team at some point. So, and that's where I feel like we're at with Bryson Stott. We saw the Nick Castellanos defending him situation. It feels like once every 2.5, 3 weeks, he does something like hit a home run, and we're like, oh my gosh, Stott people needed that, baby. Finally, something. And then it's 3.5 weeks later, and we're like, oh my gosh, finally, Stott people needed that. Finally, something, you know. So I'm cheering. I want him to be better. You know, he's someone I want to
absolutely
line up.
He's a Philly.
His bat just isn't good enough. He's almost, dare I say, Rojas.
I mean, he's having the worst year of his career. That's where we're at. And I was number one of the Stottman chat. I see you flowing in here. For those that just joined, we're giving away hopefully a couple of these tonight. So whoever has the best comment, question in the chat, Slim's going to make that decision. Get Slim.
I get suspect when I hear Ruben Amaro Jr. start hyping up people and being a little too merry on the narrative stuff, and that's how he's been with Stott basically all year. And I don't know, man. What do you guys think Stott's future is, and what do you guys think he is as a player?
I'll let Bones take that one.
Well, he gets paid less than $3 million. It's nothing crazy.
Yeah, I don't know if he's got a spot on this team next year. To be honest with you, he keeps on hitting like this, and it's not like you can't say, oh, he's out of rhythm. Like he's got to get in the rhythm. They're taking him out with lefties. No, he's not hitting right-handed pitching, let alone lefties. So you can't bring that rhythm thing up. And that's the same thing with Kepler. It's just his. It's not affecting his defense, which is awesome, because some players, the way they struggle offensively goes to the defense, and it's not with him. So that's a good thing. And I don't know. Like last year, we heard it was he had an injured elbow. This year, I don't know. It's the breaks in between.
It's just not hitting the bat. Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. Where I'm at with him is number one, going into the playoffs. You start limiting at bats, right? Like, because we don't have time for you to figure it out at that point. So I think the most immediate thing is if this continues into September, October, you start having a strategy to limit his at bats, and then going into next year, he's just playing for a job, right? Like that's where he's at right now. So unfortunately, it stinks that we're even having this conversation, but I completely agree with you, boys.
And that's a good point with the limiting at bats, because I don't like that in the playoffs where you go lefty. You bench him when there's a lefty out there, play him when there's a righty. Go in there. You want a steady lineup. going into the playoffs and not having these different things going on. You just want what you got. You want your best 9 out there. If he's not doing that, have Sosa do it. Get him the at bats come September to be ready for October. Just play him because once like September 10th rolls around, September 10th, 15 range, we talked about it before. That's when it starts to be playoff baseball atmosphere, and I think that was either Sean or it might have been Shane R that brought that up before when we talked about it. So that's when I would get Sosa in there for more at bats against righties.
And we'll talk about playoff baseball atmosphere because we have a couple of those series coming up sooner than we think, actually. But I don't want to get ahead of myself. Willie D in the chat. Welcome, Willie. Got real quick, Slim. So Painter isn't even pitching well enough to take over a spot in the starting rotation right now. Good point there, Willie. Get Slim.
Oh, is that even – well, back to Bryson Stott. We might not have time to get to September 10th or so. That's kind of late. Especially when Sosa, like you said, he's been so good batting above 300 when he starts. We're going to have to open up an avenue for Sosa to be playing more often sooner than September 10th. Does that mean Bohm or Stock get moved or something else? We'll see. Obviously, the outfield experiment has been put to bed at this point. So to give him more opportunity, it's going to have to come in the infield. Back to Painter and then to the chat. Who's our 5th starter now? We've had guys that aren't performing all the time. So I think I think Painter will be fine. And you give him an opportunity versus a team who's not good, like we saw with the Pirates.
100%. And we got Steve Kaz, a friend of the show, one of our best Red Riders, coming in with the chat, and he's actually out of base on that one. So, Steve, you just said, aside from the Zach Wheeler one, it sounds like the Red Rider community had one too many Love City Brewing beers because this list looks preposterous at midway point. So, Steve, this was actually a preseason prediction list. So, what we're doing is these were the wishes that we granted, and we're going through and looking at them at this point to see how they look. So, we've been trying to remind people as we go along because I know that can be confusing. But let's keep it moving here because number 7's an absolute layup, and I'll let Bones take this one. Harper will remain off the IL this year.
Yeah. I mean, talk about a wish.
Yeah.
And we kind of knew going in that wasn't probably not going to probably wasn't going to last, and that's why it was a wish. You know what I mean? And obviously he's had the wrist injury. Hopefully he stays off now for the rest. I mean,
hopefully.
Of course, he decided he wanted to heat up, and then we hit the All-Star break, which I think happened last year too against San Diego when he came back with Schwarber. That game they played San Diego, hit the All-Star break, and then after that, Phillies continued their skid. But yeah, he's going to be long 3 months to keep Harper healthy.
100%. And then number 8 wish, Alec Bohm will bat 300. So Slim, he is at 281 right now. It would take quite the second half, we'll call it. But do you think there's any chance of that coming to fruition?
No, I don't think he's going to bat 300. And as we're going down this list, there's a lot of no's, which makes me think: are the Phillies going to win this division? Are they going to be a wild card team, or should we start preparing ourselves and coping for a potential collapse?
So the hard no. Let's get through. And Steve, I see in the chat you meant off season, so I'm following you now. So the final one is Ranger Suarez returns to dominant form, similar to first half of 2024. And this is one of those where I want to spend a little time on. Because I remember Slim got his chops busted on this because this was ranked number 9, right, guys? So the people that are watching and the listeners that are listening, this means that we thought this was the least likely to occur. And here we have it. Ranger Suarez has a 2.15 ERA. He's been absolutely ridiculous this year. So, Slim, I'm going to let you kind of do a victory lap right here.
Thank you. I don't even know why you guys have been hating on that. We saw last year he was like reunited with his family for the first time or something. He has a ton of swagger, and he's not a pitcher who relies on velocity. He's a pitcher that plays with his head, relies on his sinker, the ground ball rate, the soft hit balls. He is a Gold Glove. He should win the Gold Glove this year.
That would be awesome.
And if you're a young pitcher, watch Suarez pitch, because after he delivers the ball, he's in a fielding position every single time. And then you watch these other, especially these relief guys come in, and they can barely stand up still after they throw a goddamn ball. Stand up straight, I should say.
100%. 100%. So, in
we'll
the spirit,
I think we'll have to see with this, because remember, Suarez started the season late.
Oh, you're cheering again. You're fading Slim still. I see.
Yeah, I'm just pointing out facts here.
Contract year. He'll make sure he's all
Suarez,
right.
He still hasn't met the innings that he's pitched in previous years, and last year he got to June and he started struggling, but that was with injury and all that. So we'll just have to wait and see.
Well, I would say, like I said, his family's probably on a better routine. He said he declined to go to the All-Star game. He was asked and said no. Did you guys see that? He said no. Yeah. Maybe Scott Boras told him to say that. But no, he's trying to get paid, so I think he's going to be super focused. I think he's going to set personal highs in everything at this point.
Women, weekend legs.
Yes, and yes. And cash. He's going to set a personal high at the end of the year in cash.
We got Feel the Love, and this is a special one, right? Because we got a tailgate this Friday, guys. This Friday, July 18th, we're going to be down at the Phillies ballpark, and we're going to be drinking our Love City beers. And this is Feel the Love, brought to you by Love City Brewing. Slim, who you got?
Real fast, my Feel the Love is Justin Crawford. I bust stones on here saying, why would you take a minor leaguer? Well, Justin Crawford is going to be on this big league club soon. In my opinion, even though Painter and Miller are both ranked higher in all the scouting rankings, yada, 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 Crawford has the easiest route here. I think he can actually benefit this team the most in an everyday spot in center field, with Marsh going to left field after we designate for assignment Kepler. So my Field of Love is for the young center fielder, soon to be starting, Justin Crawford. I think he's the one piece I wouldn't trade. I think he gives us the least amount of return compared to Painter and Miller, and he can actually give us the biggest benefit now. So keep him. Don't trade him. Trade the others, potentially.
Great one. And who are you at on this week? Bones?
I'm going with a guy I gave a lot of flack to in this first half, the leading double play man for the Phillies, and that's JT Realmuto. Over the last 30 days, this guy is batting .333. The only downside of it, he's only got 6 RBIs and no homers in that time, so not much pop left in the bat. But this guy was struggling for a lot of this year so far, and for the last month, he's really picked it up. A couple big hits this weekend, including the RBI yesterday. So JT Realmuto is my Feel the Love for this week.
Love it.
And he was so clutch, man. That was a clutch hit after our boy Castellanos. Castellanos came up. I think there was a man on, was it second at the time? One out. I'm like, hey, this is a standard spot for him, a power spot for Castellanos. Does not come through. Didn't even see, I don't think, a strike on that at bat. And then Realmuto comes up and smashes a double for us. And Realmuto is killing it with his speed as well. Yeah, I did not love the win, and I did not love the balls. We had so many balls down the warning tracks out in San Fran and San Diego, it felt like.
That was brutal. I love to see JT popping up on a Field of Love, though. It's a beautiful thing, and that he had a great month. So Absolutely love to
I'm
see
gonna
that.
ask Slim one thing:
Hit me.
Is does Nick Castellanos' first inning home run the other night count as clutch?
Does it count as clutch? I actually, after he hit it, I was thinking about it. What game was that? Again,
I think it's the second game, right?
Yeah, Saturday
do
night.
I count it
Yeah.
as clutch? And yeah, I do, especially with the
Of course you do.
with the amount of runs we've been scoring. It's absolutely was clutch. It was clutch. Wasn't as clutch as Captain JT though.
Uh, that's hilarious. And before I jump to my field of love, we got a quick update here from that Rooker beat James Wood so far in the home run derby. So good pick by you there. My field of love this week is a layup. It's the only man that is representing the Phillies physically down in Atlanta, Kyle Schwarber. I've gone back and forth on if I think we should extend him, but the man is giving me no choice. Let's make a deal. Let's figure something out. I don't care if he's a DH to the most extreme sense of the word DH, but he's an absolute leader, cornerstone of the team at this point. So let's sign that man, and I feel the love for you, Kyle Schwartz.
100%,
Yeah.
100%. And I didn't. For him to show off to be the only person to represent the Phillies there is kind of disgraceful, especially after all the whining, moaning, and bitching we heard.
I
And don't get
know.
me, especially don't get me wrong. Wheeler should do whatever he wants. Suarez do whatever you want. Trey Turner, you got snubbed, man. You got snubbed this year, brother. We know you did. But
He
then
did.
you don't snub. You don't put your nose up. Castellanos, you weren't even close to getting voted in. You don't put your nose up. You don't make the Savannah Banana comments. You take it with grace, especially when your asses were almost getting swept. Okay.
Yeah. What do you want to add something on that, Bones?
No, I just thought Chris was taking away another segment.
Yeah, he was. But where are you guys at on? I don't want this to become the NBA, right? I don't want this to become Savannah Bananas. So, do we think we got to inject this? Manfred's got to get on his horse here and figure something out. Do we got to go back to the World Series implications, Bones? Where are you at?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's getting to that point
Yeah,
because this is the most I've seen people dropping out, and you see like the Christopher Sanchez thing where he wasn't getting named an All Star because he was going to be starting the game on
right,
Sunday, so they were holding him out um, from being added to the team, replacing somebody, right?
right,
And then you get Suarez, who declined because of like his injury history, I guess, which is all good. Like we see people do that before. I don't know why Zach Wheeler declined. I mean, this guy hasn't had arm troubles before. You're going in, you might throw an inning, you might not.
right.
But the Suarez thing, I get. That's fine. That was fine with me. But the people just declining is a big joke to me, and something definitely needs to change with that. And I forget, someone was talking about today, maybe with this uh, like pitching on Sunday thing, they would have to change with something in the CBA because that's part of the CBA deal that they got. So that,
Yep.
but kudos to the Phillies for giving Sanchez the bonus that he was
Good call
going to
out.
get for making the team because he should have made it.
100%. Slim, where are you at on kind of the state of affairs of the MLB All Star Game?
So just a micro issue with Sanchez real fast is, and Bones, maybe you know, why didn't they just say, hey, Sanchez, you're an all-star, and B, he's not going to be playing, so everybody's happy now. We now can plug in the next guy. So I don't know. I don't understand. Like you said, go back to the CBA. Let's change some of the language on that. Just so I know it's kind of corny. The more heads, that kind of defeats the purpose. But in that instance, we could have added a couple more heads, and everybody probably would have just been happy and let it be. The second thing is, I don't know what the long term answer is. We saw the World Series thing years ago. The NBA tried to do a draft. You know, drafts were kind of like cool. Do you do a draft where the tier picks are paid out? Do you do something where the game is worth some kind of money? I don't know. Slim solution would be one thing,
Well,
and it's not even a solution. It's just an extension. I would take what they usually do for like the junior all star games is that international game. I would make that the main game for next year, you know, so it
Right.
has some flair to it. I don't know if you can put a monetary value on that, but I make it USA versus internationals for um, 2026. And then as we're leading up to that, I'm trying to think how we can fix it because I don't have any answers.
Well, the biggest elephant in the room is obviously next year the All Star Game is in Philadelphia, right? So
Right.
we want to have this right. It would be awesome to have it a little bit more competitive. And here's the biggest thing, and I'm going to end on this for this segment: the way the All Star Game, the nature of the way the baseball is played, right? NBA, NFL's a joke, right? Pro Bowl's an absolute joke. They don't even play a game anymore. NBA, absolute joke. Just the way that the game's played, they don't have to be physical. But the way that baseball is, the type of game it is, right? Mano y mano. There's a pitcher on the mound. There's a batter in the batter's box. No one's going to want to get a hit against them, right? So the way the game is played, it can always be a competitive thing. Now, the stakes of it is what's going to make the actual players that should be there. And that's the conversation we're having, right? Zach Wheeler should be there. This bull crap world, well, you're an all-star if you want it. You're an all-star or you're not an all-star. It's not if you accept it. It's not like this optional stuff is bull crap. So that's my biggest issue with that whole optional thing. They got to figure that out. And then if you look in the right-hand box, the red corner box, we have the 5-game all-star, really. That's obviously in reference to Jacob, Mizorowski? They call him, the Miz? Is that what they're calling him, right, Bones?
yeah.
That guy. Guy's a stud, right? Rookie for the Brewers. Guy, 5 games. You're not an all-star. That's bull crap. He shouldn't be over Suarez. He shouldn't be over Ranger. I mean,
How many
excuse me.
stars does Suarez have?
Way more than that. Probably like 15, at least. I think Suarez is like 7-5, right? That might be wrong.
Yeah.
But way more than 5.
And I said the same thing last year when Paul Skeens was named the starter of the game.
Yeah,
He
I
wasn't
agree.
up much longer. I think he was at 9 or 10 games,
Right.
and he was named the starter.
Yeah.
That's because
It's
his
'cause-
girl was going to be on TV to boost the ratings, and that's where the entertainment thing comes in. Somebody made a comment about that.
Right. Yeah. 100%. And Willie D in the chat saying how many people actually watch the MLB All-Star Game. He always watched the Derby. I hear you, man. But if you can bring it and make it actually mean something again, I think the players will care more.
And
I
since you
always
brought
like
that
the
up,
All-Star
home run
game.
derby blows too.
Yeah, I always like the All-Star game more than the Derby.
Me too.
I like
All right.
all of it. You know, I always enjoyed trying to watch all of it. Like I said, I remember Vicente Padilla being on the mound when Buzz Seeley decided that the game wasn't going to go any further into past the 11th. You know, so
100%.
we've been here, done that. Let's see what happens. Let's see what they think of.
Been here, done that. And it's that time of the week, Bones. Around the corner.
For this week's Around the Corner, we're going to go and we're going to look at the standings for base right now of where we would be if the season ended today. And right now, the Phillies would be the 3 seed. They'd be playing the Padres, who they just faced. They would be the home team in that. And then 1 and 2 seeds would be the Dodgers and the Cubs, 2 powerhouses right there.
Yep.
And then the Brewers at 5 and the Mets. The Brewers, they started off slow, and this might be one of the things why the Miz pitching well.
Mm-hmm.
They started off slow, but that division is pretty jammed up there, so I can definitely see the second wild card coming out of there with you got the Brewers, you got the Reds in there, and the Cardinals. They're all in a logjam, and right behind the Mets for that second wild card. You go over to the AL, and I thought, there it is. Tigers, best team in baseball. Astros, number 2. their resurgence. They traded away Kyle Tucker. They got
Mm-hmm.
rid of Alex Bregman. Jordan Alvarez has been hurt all year, and somehow they're still there at number 2, leading the AL West. And then you go out, it would be the Yankees 3 seed, Mariners at the 6 seed, and the Rays and Blue Jays in the NL East matchup, or AL East matchup. So it's going to be a good last 3 months of the year. Can't wait to get into it. And then the other thing was Shohei Ohtani's unreal.
He
Guy's got
really
90 runs scored already on this season. 30 has 30 plus homers. He's going to be pitching more soon, so we're going to see Ohtani DHing and pitching in the playoffs, and that will be a first because he hasn't done it yet.
And the things to keep in mind with Ohtani is, hey, what do you guys think about? Because I've been on some Ohtani games. What do you guys think about Ohtani? And he's been losing me games. The 1 inning stuff, it's like that pitch count limit stuff, like what is the science behind that? I brought it up on previous podcasts, but I low key think that pitch count is garbage, bro. Like I don't really think they know what they're talking about if they're saying he's going to throw. I mean, we see with Ranger or with even Harper with the swings, it's like, 60 and then 70 and then 90. Now he's ready at 100. I don't get that totally. And we saw that basically in live action with Ohtani his last 3 starts or so. The second thing with Ohtani is how they handle him with the DH, maneuvering him out with the substitution nonsense, right? Because they kind of like steal a batting order spot there or a substitution there. I forget the technicalities there, but once it happens, once they remove him from the game pitching wise, putting another player in there.
No. So the thing is, one, he's making rehab starts against major league pitchers. This is his ramp up.
Exactly.
So he's not making minor league starts like Andrew Painter's made for 3 months. And everybody else does. He's doing it on the fly because he's the best player in baseball, and he's got to do it at the major league level.
Yeah,
you can't send him down to the minors.
Right, so you can't send him down to the minors. He could still do simulated pitching, whatever. My point being, I understand. I think it's cool that we're seeing him do it like that. But do you really believe in the pitch count stuff? Like, I'm not sure that's. I mean, does he really have to go 1 inning?
Yeah, I believe it more than the 6-man rotation.
I saw that coming.
Number 2. What else did you say?
How when he's being used as a DH when they're pulling him out of games?
Yeah, if they pull him out as the DH, they can't use him. They can't replace that spot. If it's the same game he's pitching.
Right.
So he just says he can't play the field. There's no other
like
things
once he leaves pitching, he's still the DH.
Right, he stays the DH. Nothing. Yeah. There's no other wonkiness that could ever occur.
If he leaves the game as the DH while he's pitching, then it becomes like an automatic out.
How often do they do that?
None.
There's something else then. Next episode, I'll look it up. There's something else we're missing then on that because I'm 100% sure it has popped up in games I've watched and listened to where the broadcast is completely losing their mind on how the Dodgers basically get a free move. I'll come back with it next time.
It's not like he did it in the Angels. He's been doing it since he came up, so it's not like something new. It's not just because he went to the Dodgers. It's not just because he went to the Dodgers. They're getting over on people.
And, it could be a niche thing that certain fan bases, the Padres, someone that's playing them often is just complaining about.
Yeah,
it's something they notice that we're not that we take for granted. I don't care because he's the best player in baseball. I love seeing him. I want him out there in the best spots. If there's some weird little substitution rule they get away with on a double switch technicality, I'm not sure. We'll see. I'll come back. There's something.
But this segment around the corner was brought to you by the Freshworks. Freshworks is going to be sponsoring us the tailgate this Friday, July 18th.
Yep.
Phillies play the Angels.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be switching it up each tailgate. This week we're going to have a nice little of their famous hoagie trays from the works that Joe
Oh,
and crew got for us,
yeah.
and they're giving out the JT bobblehead that night. And there was one other. Oh, the other thing is now it's Sunday through Thursday. Um,
Mm-hmm.
you can buy two halves of any cheesesteak, hoagie, any sandwich. If you buy two halves, you get one for free. That's Sunday through Thursday. They're closed on Monday, so basically Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Two halves, you get one free.
That's awesome. I'm excited for that hoagie tray, and thank you, Freshworks at Port Richmond, for being the official tailgate food sponsor of the Red Corner. Guys, in the chat, we have a question from Steve Kaz on Gage Wood, which is a perfect segue. Let's do a little bit of Gage Wood, then we'll talk about our second half prediction, and we'll close on Slim Pick'ems because I'm excited to hear his picks. He's got a big bounce back week planned for us. So, as you guys have saw, right, Phillies had 20 picks. Out of those 20 picks, 15 were pitchers, and we're only going to focus on the first round pick right now because there's a lot of buzz on him, right? The 26 overall selection, it's a good number, 26 for the Phillies. We drafted Gage Wood, who sounds like a country music star with that name, out of Arkansas, the right-handed pitcher, guy that threw a no-hitter in the College World Series, got a nice personality to him. But the biggest thing that I want us to talk about here is there's some buzz going on. We'll start with you on this one, Bones, about, hey, can this guy be available for the Phillies maybe late this year? Do you put any stock in that?
I mean, if it was any other team besides the Phillies, I could certainly see it.
Right.
But I really don't think that the Phillies would bring him up
Give me a
this year.
percentage.
4%, we'll say,
Okay.
that he's up here in September. I mean, it's just not in the Phillies' nature. I don't think it's in Dave Dombrowski's nature to do
Right.
this. I mean, we've seen it before, like obviously Skeens was drafted 1 year. The next year he's up in the bigs. There have been guys that have like done it in the same year. I
Yeah.
think I think Houston Street with the Rockies did it back in '07 when the Phillies played the Rockies. He was their
Good call by you.
closer. Other than that, I'm not sure. I just don't see it happening. And the Phillies are just like they just think because they're having bullpen. Everybody thinks because they're having a struggling bullpen, this guy from college is going to come up and be the savior.
Yeah.
I mean, if he was a top 10 pick, yeah, but the guy was picked at 26th in the draft. I don't see it happening.
Slim, I'm curious to hear how you think about this.
So where will we start? Let's put him in the system. See how he does. I mean, if he can fly through the system, let him fly through the system. Give him a chance. I think it's an uphill battle. I did get excited about it. But yeah, I think it's mostly an uphill battle. But if he's that good, if he's going to come in and look really, really good in Double-A, and then Triple-A, or single, then double, then straight here, I think there's maybe an outside chance we see something later on. Because there's a
Right.
lot of spots. And we're talking about dudes like Roberts. We don't have Hernandez. We don't have Ruiz. Yeah, so these guys aren't good. Yeah, that's where I'm at with that. I just think maybe.
So Steve in the chat had a really smart comment on this, and I agree with you on this. So Steve said the Phillies were the only war room featured on MLB Network, and then somehow all those analysts said right away he could be in the bullpen this season out of nowhere. My antenna is up. Yeah, a little bit of home cooking there, giving a little bit of favoritism. Here's my thing. Number one, if this guy comes up this year, that's bad news for us because that means that A, we didn't make a trade, and B, the guys that we traded for stink because that means we're looking to this guy. The other thing is, how are we going to bring this guy into our system and in 2 months he shows against what? Double-A? Is he going to get promoted to Double-A that quick? Because there's no way they're going to have him doing low single or high single and think that that's going to project to the major leagues because it doesn't show you anything. Him pitching against low single or high single does not project to the major leagues remotely. So you're going to have to get him at least double, and I think that's a really accelerated timeline. I think it's hogwash.
But the truth is, if we end up making a big deal, we might lose a piece, and we might have to accelerate his timeline because we don't have enough pieces probably to get a stud and back at bullpen spot, stunt gun bullpen piece, and an everyday outfielder. We're not going to be making 2 blockbuster trades like that. There's no way. And the trade we think of is Quan. It's not going to be 2 trades. If I see it, it's going to be one trade where we get 2 in return.
Listen, it would be awesome to see him up there, and I like the player. He seems, everything you see seems like he's fits our city.
And it would be ingenious to draft a very college-ready player now to try to attack that need in a creative way. So I do like the ideas. All right, so who would you rather have, this guy Gage or Daniel Roberts? Let's figure it out. These are the questions. And so it brings us back to the Crawford stuff. How many times do we have to see Rojas? How many times do we have to see Romano? People, and even man, it is getting unfortunate. Strom's better and better, but man, you don't have any confidence when these in these late innings.
But anyway, let's move on here to let's talk a little bit about the Phillies for the second half, right? So at this point, obviously, we know the Phillies are number 1 in the division. We're on a 93 win pace, so our season pace changed a little bit. I just want to talk about briefly post All-Star break. Slim Bones, you touched on it a little bit. We have a little bit of we got the Angels, Red Sox, Yankees, White Sox, Tigers. So we got 3 tough ones, 2 should be easy ones for the first 5 series post All-Star break. But overall, Slim, where are you at? Give me a win total on the year. Give me a win total, and do you think we're going to win the division?
I think we win the division, and I think we have 93 wins.
Oh, so right. You think we're going to keep the exact pace we're on right now? I like that.
Yep.
Okay. Bones.
96.
Ooh.
96 we'll go with.
And that's going to win the division, I'm assuming?
They're going to win the division.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to go in the middle. I'm going to go 94, and we are not going to win the division, unfortunately.
Damn.
I think we're going to be first in the wild card. There's something about this Mets team that's giving me some weird vibes. So I think they're going to crawl back on us.
Oh, boy.
I hope I'm wrong, but I just got a weird feeling in my gut that this might be another wild card year for us. But again, that's not the end of the world. It's still the postseason. That's just where I'm at right now. That could obviously change tomorrow. Slim, we've been keeping everyone waiting far too long. We need these locks.
Yeah, so we actually have a nice long break, and I'm actually feeling the love on the break. If you've been following along, it's a grind. Baseball's every single day due to the opportunity. If you remember, that's rule 1. But let me get a breath. Let me not get ahead of myself here. All right. Right off the bat, it was a long weekend. All right. We made some of the biggest bets we had out there. The Dodgers didn't come through. The Phillies didn't come through. The Blue Jays didn't come through. But no matter the case, Slim always has a big, bright smile. Thank you to D-Town Dental and Warminster Dental Associates. They are smiles ahead of the competition. And don't get it twisted, Slim and his partners were miles ahead of the competition as well here at the Slim S&P 500. Long story short, there's no games until the weekend. So the only pick we have for you is the American League tomorrow, -1.5. They're going to be plus 155. In recap, Slim's record is now 90 wins, 182 losses for minus 19.36 units. Okay. We went for broke with the Dodgers, and what I really want to stress and recap again is the 4 points before I let you guys go. There's more plays coming, but there's a couple things you got to remember. One, the opportunities. Baseball gives us a ton of opportunities. Okay. So there will be more. That's that long term thinking, the opportunities. Second, the value. We always take the plus values. We always take the -1.5. That's why the numbers stink. You know, we see the opportunities in series. Oh, game one, game two, game three. Oh, plus value to game one, plus value game two, plus value game three. We always do it. My third one is high lever spots. You know, when you have the chance, you want to absolutely come in and bang these bets, right? But here's the fourth thing. All right. You can't you have to follow your process. You can't allocate a target number. If you're following someone on Twitter, I say we're going to win 50 units. I should have never said that.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's saying Slim's getting off his process. Okay. And I know this is a doom and gloom one. We'll be back next week. No worries. But we didn't follow the process. It bit us in the butt. And that's a long story short. One, opportunity is important. Two, values very, very important. Three, leverage is important. But then four, you have to follow the process. Don't over leverage yourself if you're not going to follow the process. And that's what we learned this weekend. Okay. Check back soon. We still got big, bright smiles. Thank you to Warminster Dental Association and D-Town Dental. They are smiles ahead of the competition. And by the end of this year, I don't know where we will be, but we'll be better than where we were.
I love that. Is that one of your Slim Walks quotes? I love it. That's a great little motivational speaking
Well, no,
session there.
that's me resisting the urge to say we're going to be off 500 units. You know.
Um, and hey, thank you very much to Warminster Dental Associates and D-Town Dental. As Slim said, those guys are smiles ahead of the competition. Let's set the record straight here because actually, as Slim was going through that, I did do a little research. So it looks like Steve Kaz is correct with his Brandon Finnegan claim there. So in 2014, he was drafted and appeared in the postseason that year for them. So we're going to have to – this is not a fact-checking show. So we were definitely not correct on that prior claim.
He said drafted. And here's the other thing, too.
It's happened before, so I don't know how many times it's happened. We'll have to figure it out.
The reliever thing, the more I dive into it, and we'll keep that. Well, this is a teaser for the trade deadline episodes coming up.
100%.
Man, I was in the war room with relievers, and there's so goddamn many that it's really not worth even trying to bet and trade anyone for. So, again, maybe we went to get Finnegan in our own system via the draft. Who knows? Who knows?
It's definitely something the Phillies have never done, though.
Never done.
We can confidently say that.
Creative, outside the box.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think it'd be cool. Let's
Using
close
your resources.
100%. Yeah, it's a cheap asset, right? Let's close things down here with the same way that we always do, Bones, with on this day in Phillies history.
So before we get to this,
hit me.
I think not only did Steve Kaz win a red corner hat with his comment with the Brandon Finnegan, but I also think he just won the job for producer of the show.
Oh, yeah.
The fact checker that we need.
Yeah.
I think it might be that Steve Kaz guy.
Kaz, we'll send your LinkedIn profile to Slim, and we'll see if we can get an interview set up.
But we got a couple here.
On
this day in Phillies history, Mike Schmidt hits his 31st home run of the season, becoming the first time a Philly collected more than 30 homers before the All-Star break. This was on this date in 1979. Obviously, has been done before or since then. Ryan Howard did it. He was the fastest Philly to do it, as we seen on Dodge Stump the Fans the other night. And Kyle Schwarber just did it. As soon as they released the Dodge Stump the Fans, he hit homer the next pitch. Second one for the night, 1988. Again, Mike Schmidt passes Mickey Mantle for seventh on the all-time, or he takes over seventh on the all-time list, 537 career homers. This day, 1988.
That's a big one because Mickey Mantle's an all-time talent. He's up there with, you name any player of all time, Juan Soto, Acuna, Ohtani. Okay, Otani, you go compare Otani's numbers to Mickey Mantle's numbers, their best seasons, and our boy Michael Schmidt passed them all time. So that's big time kudos.
100%.
And a Debbie Downer one on this day, 2006. The Phillies lost a game to the San Francisco Giants. The Giants were the first team ever to start 3 guys over 40 years old in the outfield. Barry Bonds, Steve Finley, and Moises Alou.
Was just a Lou. Finley, I wouldn't have got Finley, but I do recall that. That's a good one. Is that the last one, Bones?
Yeah, that's it.
All right, boys. This was a beast. Chat, thank you for hanging out with us. This was a very fun one. And quick reminders and another congratulations. Kaz, congratulations on winning this on your chat activity. So we'll get that sent over to you. We got a bat coming your way, too. So you got a nice little package coming your way. This Friday, we got a tailgate coming down at the bank. Come hang out with the boys. We got the Works with the food. We got Love City with the beers. So this is a monster week. And thank you very much. If you're still here, hit that subscribe button. Any closing thoughts on the week, boys? This is a big all-star week here, man. All right.
One thing, Dev,
close it down.
We go.
Close it down.
I think the rotation has come out for after the post All-Star game, and it's Jesus Luzardo on Friday. It's the game we got.
Oh, nice.
And his record at night is way better than it is during the day, so that's cool. Taiwan Walker on Saturday. It's a scheduled loss to some people.
That's what I'm saying.
Ranger Suarez, Zach Wheeler, Christopher Sanchez.
Someone's saying Billy D's or saying Painter's not ready, but we're still throwing out Walker. Walker, his over. If we had over under on his starts, he's hit his over.
Yeah.
And he played well the last time. So he's gonna probably not do it this time.
He bought himself another couple. All right, boys. I'm pumped for this Friday. Stay tuned for our future trade deadline specials. We got some more of them coming your way. And go Phils, and we'll see you Friday.